March is great for you guys because you're ruled by Jupiter, who heads direct on March the 11th. The person will think that you're beautiful, or you'll feel beautiful in your life. You'll feel unconditional love, higher love. Maybe you need to focus on you, and maybe your significant other is like, what about me? What about me? Well, too bad, right? Good fortune, feeling flush financially, feeling a windfall vibration. It could feel really tough. Some harsh conversations, some difficult conversations, some angry conversations. Someone wants to quit the home, leave, move, cut out.
Lunatic astrology.
Hello, Pisces. Welcome to March of 2026. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising. March is great for you guys because you're ruled by Jupiter, who heads direct on March the 11th. More importantly, a critical turning point, angular total blood moon eclipse is occurring for you in your 7th house. And although these eclipses happen on a regular schedule, this one is blessed by a beautiful flow from Lord Jupiter. So any changes that come off of this eclipse at the end of the day should have somewhat of a silver lining. We're going to break down this month ahead, blood moon eclipse, 3 lucky trines to Jupiter, Lord of your sign. And so get ready, get a pen, a paper, settle in to take some notes. We're going to get going. Now, if you're new here, welcome. This is your astrologer, Lori Lothian, who has a terrible flu or head cold or something. I'm 3 days in, coming back from Mexico on a fully jam-packed WestJet flight. Yes, I got something on the flight. So be kind, because I might have to sneeze, blow my nose, and I might be fogged out, but I'm doing my best to deliver the news because the show must go on. Astrology is a time map. It's a map of time. And the way you use it in the month ahead is to time your life by using astrology as a timing navigational device. However, if you are somebody who wants to time 2026 to the best of your ability using the time map called astrology, I did create 2+ hour videos for each separate sign, navigating the year ahead time map style, as well as an all signs bundle, as well as a PDF guidebook for the year ahead. Check it out in my description box below. It's on sale still, and it's great for friends and family, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the bundle. And I use it for raising money to buy equipment, have staff help me create a better channel for you, as well as a scholarship fund for classes I teach, including the upcoming Sky Reader this fall. For people who can't afford to study with me, let's get going now and talk astrology. I'm having a lot of issues today with my microphone floating around. This is Western Tropical Zodiac. I am Lori Lothian. I can't even remember if I introduced myself. Let's go ahead and look at the sky. Sun sign, career purpose, and your true essential nature. Sun is like the actor. The movie role that is being played by the actor is your ascendant. It's your character in the simulation. If your sun is your game player, the ascendant is the simulation avatar. That said, ascendant is highly sensitive to change. It is the simulation character experiencing life's fated changes. So listen to that for sure. And then listen to your sun sign, career and purpose, and deep essential nature. And listen to your moon sign for how you think and feel about life, but also home, nest, and domicile where you live. Like and subscribe if you like my heroic efforts to create content while I'm feeling like I should be in bed with a thermometer in my mouth. This is the sky. You are a Pisces. That's the ascendant symbol. We pretend the sun is in Pisces, or we would pretend the moon is here in the first house to delineate sun and moon for astrology purposes. Whole sign houses, of course, once you go whole sign, you don't go back. But let me tell you, all astrologers on YouTube must delineate in this tool or won't work for you. If you already have done Placidus, once you go whole sign, you don't go back. Go check it out on my description box below, how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, and let the sky finally make sense of your life. Let me start with the Pisces people, because whole sign is the ancient tradition, and the ancients knew what the hell they were doing. As you notice, we begin the month of March with a stellium in your sign. It means a bunch of planets are hanging out in your sign. Now, most of these are not visible planets. In fact, the only one visible here, well, Mercury is visible, Moon would be, and Venus. Okay, so I take that back. They are visible as we move into March. Mars is not yet visible. But watch what happens on March the 2nd, 3rd, depending on your time zone. Well, you're going to notice that Mars will cross the sign boundary on the 2nd of March and move into your sign. He will be here until April the 9th. He will add some spice here, and he will be visibly rising to the visible sky on the 17th of March. So you have a pile up of planets to start the month ahead. Mars is actions and decisions. Mars is like cutting and severing. Mars is ambition and passion. Mars will motivate you. Sometimes when Mars enters your sign, you become more forthright, more determined, more agentic, like you seem to know what you want and you're taking agency. I argue you have no agency, but you feel like you're making life decisions and you know what you want and you're going for it. And under the sky until April 9th, you could have surgery. Why surgery? Well, because Mars rules cutting, things that cut, scalpels, injectables, whatever. So you might have some kind of surgical thing. Be careful for injuring yourself as well, especially your feet. But all said and done, when Mars is here every 2 years for about 6 weeks, you go through this narrative. The North Node of Fate is amplifying Mars, and we have a little bit of a Venus-Mars combination, which is really good for romance and you feeling romantic and you feeling passionate about lots of stuff in life, really turned on by life. And that might be true between March the 2nd and March the 6th, when you have both Venus and Mars together in your sign. Now, when we look at this guy and we move past Mars, because I'll be talking more about him as we go along, as he does certain things in the heavens, we want to notice the eclipse is going to occur, and it is blood moon, it is red, it is total, and it's in your long-term committed love house. And while sure, you can call this your audience, marketplace, and clients, which is 10 from the 10th, and it does do that. And you can also look at business partnerships here. For 9 out of 10 times, it's going to look like you're in a long-term relationship and there's an eclipse there. If you're not in one, it can bring somebody in. If you're single, a total blood moon eclipse and the 6 months that follow it could enter into you could enter into a destined, fated long-term love relationship with exalted Venus here in your sign during the eclipse. The person will think that you're beautiful, or you'll feel beautiful in your life. You'll feel unconditional love, higher love. Bring me a higher love, Stevie Winwood. You're going to feel this higher love. If you start in a new relationship 6 months after March the 3rd, that you want to have committed to you, and with Jupiter in your 5th house of romance going direct on March the 11th, you're going to feel like love is finding you. You are finding love. Love could be blossoming. But if you're in a relationship already, the South Node has been testing that relationship since March of 25. Since January of 25, with the first eclipse here in fall of 24. So in an existing relationship that didn't start after March of 25, there's testing 1, 2, 1, 2. This could mean health problems for your significant other, as well as just difficulties in the life of your significant other. But it can also test the relationship. Mercury rules the marriage house, and he's busy in your sign. So there's something going on here where the eclipse can also be about you as well as your other person. And you're really focused on you. Like, you see how much you focus you've got going on, right? So maybe you need to focus on you, and maybe your significant other is like, what about me? What about me? Well, too bad, right? But that could stress the relationship up. But if you're focused on you, Pisces, why? Is it your career success that you're bashing ahead on? That could be it. Is it your health? What is it you need to do for you at the expense of having to cater to your significant other? So this tension, I vow, is going to activate on this eclipse. Good news is Jupiter is in a flowing relationship to the eclipse itself and to the sun and to the north and south node in a way that kind of brings something silver lining perhaps off of this. What was your life like in major long-term love, clients, audience, and marketplace relationships and business partnerships last June, and also last August? And also, what was your relationship to your children last August? And what was your relationship to sexy romantic love last August? Because where Jupiter sits is like he was last August, same place because of retrograde. So you're going to kind of go back to that, and you might see some new momentum off of themes that occurred last August. If you're an entrepreneur, an artist, or creative, Jupiter supports that, and he could bring you some kind of letting go of a way you cater to your audience and marketplace, like whatever, gallery showings, social media posting, and you're going to pull inwards and pull back towards what you need and want rather than what the audience needs and wants. And Jupiter is moving toward you. It's all about you finding joy, happiness, bliss, creative, inspired, enthusiastic life energy. And Jupiter's trying damnedest to help you there. You might have more children in your life under Jupiter's entrance into the 5th house, including getting pregnant or your partner. And there can be destined changes in your life because of fertility and pregnancy as well under this sky. So this eclipse can unfold that. We'll be doing a really deep dive into this eclipse. So you definitely want to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. There's so much more I could say. With Juno, the goddess of committed marriage, in the house of social groups and friends, there could also be a deeper level of commitment wanting to be made. And this could be a friendly wedding bell that wants to ring for some Pisces, setting a wedding date, setting a wedding arrangement, that kind of thing. That might be a little bit more expensive than you want, by the way, with Saturn here in detriment ruling that wedding story. But this could be usually a wedding in the 11th house is with friends and close groups of people, not like a big, here comes the bride with, 1,000 people, but you might be looking at turning points regarding consolidating a relationship into a wedding or wedding-like vibe if you're already in one. There is a possibility that Venus is telling us exalted. If a relationship is in the zone of turbulence, you could come into some significant financial gain through divorce and settlement monies with this sky. Okay, just calling it like I see it. You could get the property, the land, you could get a lot of money off of the end of a relationship. And this kind of eclipse could bring an end to that relationship that has outworn its time. We're talking about long-term and marriage type things. Now we're moving on to March the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Venus sextiles Uranus. Venus is a goddess of exaltation in love and money and surprise. Uranus, unexpected trip, unexpected journey, unexpected surprise from a sibling, exalting you, making you feel really good about life. Unexpected surprises to do with online social media marketing and selling. You might be hitting a viral hit. Something you wrote is going viral. You're getting some excitement here. And Venus exalting you on this, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You're just going to feel like you're sitting pretty. Something really good is happening and you are excited, but you might be a surprise. There's a wealth star here. You might be bringing in some money. Good for social media revenue, digital income, borderless revenue as well. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Something's picking up in this part of the sky, and unexpected surprises from neighbors and siblings that are positive, and you feel like you're sitting pretty on an exalted throne on a seaside mansion. You feel happy about this. And, even to the point where news that you get this month, and we'll talk about it later, will be good news. Moving forward. On March the 4th and 5th, Sun trines Jupiter for golden opportunities and lucky breaks. Oh, the sun is shining a light in Pisces. It's your season, right? Until the 3rd week of March. And sometimes it feels a little bit heavy when the sun is shining in your sign for the ascendants, not the sun and moon as much. You might feel a little bit like if someone put you under like a Sahara desert sunlight with no shade. So you might feel a little stressed, a little burned out, a little bit like you're not getting good sleeps. Tell me if that's true, Pisces rising. But on the other hand, the sun is shining brightly on you, and it is going to illuminate the benefic fairy godfather and Santa Claus, Jupiter, in a house of good fortune. So with this energy, especially with Saturn in the house, ruling the house of windfalls, through partnership or agreements, you might feel collaborations lead to a sense of windfalls. Also, support that looks like collaboration or support or agreements with you and a sibling, one older, or any siblings, but one older in particular, lead to a feeling of good fortune, feeling flush financially, feeling a windfall vibration. Now, just know that if you have children, and I see Mars in your 1st house and Jupiter in your 5th, you might be getting some stories going on this month that a grandchild is on the way. And we will see if that maybe the sun illuminating Jupiter doesn't bring some information, some bubbling on possible news that you're going to see a grandchild showing up soon or in 9 months or whatever. On March the 7th, come to my Mercury Kazimi webinar, link below, free. There's a Kazimi of Mercury in the heart of the sun. This is going to happen retrogradation, which is full of synchronicity and magic. Mercury bumps into the sun right over here on the 7th of March. Well, usually it means good news or news that was hidden or information that was hidden becoming visible and available for digestion, but you are where the Mercury is. If it's a Pisces sun, it's good news about career or positive announcements. Pisces moon about home and domicile and where you live. Pisces rising about your health or character. Now, you could get health announcements here because the sun rules your house of sickness. So health announcements being revealed, health information being disclosed. But if you want to do something for your health that day and initiate a beginning of something to improve your health that day, it's a good day to do that. It's a good day to do any single thing you want, publish a book, get an agent to look at it, submit a manuscript. It's really good for having a very important conversation with a significant long-term marriage type partner. So you can use this. It's called an election, but you also notice that, there's coming information that's very intimate to you and means something to you. With the sun ruling the house of sickness, anytime you have a Mercury Kazimi in your sign, it could also be health news. Now, I perceive it as likely good because of the trine from Jupiter, meaning good news about your health for any kind of tests or procedures you might be investigating. And then we go on to Venus crossing into Aries, which is, I'm sorry for the coughing. I really should cover the mic because that's where the sound is coming from. When we move into, but hey, I've got the flu. So yeah, recording this for you guys on February 19th. Venus moves into Aries on the 2nd of March through to the 30th, and she'll be there in her money house. Now, there's good and bad news. She's a money goddess in a money house, and with Saturn stabilizing your earnings, stabilizing your savings, and stabilizing your resources the best she can. But she's in detriment called exile. Saturn's in fall. So you might also say money's not great. I'm feeling stressed out about money. I want to save more, make more, endure. I want to be disciplined about my money. I need to curtail my spending. There's a lot going on there. Chironic wound about money for Pisces since 2013. And so what I think 2019, what I think is chironic money wound, what I think you might be doing with this is you might be trying to stabilize your finances. And Venus is doing her best to be a participant. And she might have you draw on things that are over here, savings that are in investments, spousal shared monies, trying to draw on money that comes from government's payouts, or if you have any debts, like a credit card debt, you might want to fix the problem, right? And Saturn exalts your 8th house and Venus rules it. So they're both really trying to draw money that's from the long game money, the unearned income, the chunky money into your pocketbook. So you might sell a stock. You want to pull in money that you don't normally draw on somehow, even shared money with your spouse or long-term partner. Like you're pulling money from places you don't normally use. You might even pull money from a sibling, one older, from a friend to ask for some help financially. So you might be pulling money from other people or getting them to help boost the way you make money or something like that. And Venus will be here March the 2nd through until the end of the month of March the 30th. So that theme will go month long. As she comes here, she'll help you. Well, be careful. I don't like this for getting swindled, right? If it looks too good to be true, it is. That prince in, Africa who wants you to get their inheritance or something bullshit. Don't get fished or don't take any of these scammy calls, because Mercury and Venus and Neptune could be a financial swindle, and Saturn is trying to give you a reality check. So get a reality check going, because you may be in a temptation to take a get rich quick scheme that's not going to work. And that is going to be a warning for you, all right, around March the 6th, 7th, and 8th. On March 8th to the 14th, we're going to notice that the reality check is strong. Saturn and Venus become one. And so now you can either acquire money from the 8th house, or you're going to be very serious and realistic about your financial situation, including your career gains and earnings, including money coming from investments, including money from far off lands and shores and people. Then we move into the idea that good news wants to find you on March the 8th and 9th as Mercury trines Jupiter, just like we saw with the sun on the 4th and 5th. Mercury's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde. This is March 8th and 9th. Possibly go back to last August of 25, possibly go back to the first 3 weeks of February. These energies are playing back out again from the retrograde planets, and it's good news connected to February, let's go first 3 weeks, or the entire month of August. And this flow is here. Good news, good expansion, good growth, but connected to matters in the past. Could be news about your children, news about your romantic love, life, news about your fertility status with you and another person. Yeah, or news about children or grandchildren, either or. All of those things are in the story. It's good. It matters. It's positive news, good news, good developments, lucky breaks, lucky opportunities. Small chance of winning money off of this. Not I'm saying it's going to happen, but Jupiter in good fortune can help you win money. But for everything's in the past. So look under your sofa. Did you leave a lottery ticket unchecked from August or from the first 3 weeks of February? Because it's almost like something from the past can prosper now in lucky, fortunate ways that feels like winning. Okay. And we want to move on and talk about Venus in a wealth yoga because she's in a money house talking to riches god Pluto, the god of the underworld. Now, these two planets, Venus and Pluto, will come into on March 9th and 10th, a very nice little love fest together. You'll feel it on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, and you might get a dollop of riches coming your way. But if you do, it could come from a 12th house source. This could be somebody in a hospital setting. This could be somebody from a distant shore, far off land or foreign place. This could be money from international revenue sources. Now, if that was to happen, that's wonderful, right? But the other thing is Pluto's in the house of self-undoing, which includes substance abuse and addictions. And the second house is what you ingest through your nose and mouth. And there may be a nice healing going on, thank you, Chiron, around a tendency to escape through whatever you escape through your nose and mouth, beer, wine, weed, weight, whatever. Whatever you're doing, you might get a hard stop here and you might be very successful at it. Because Saturn says hard stop on pleasure that you ingest through your mouth. All right. Or you get some healing vitamin supply from abroad and you start to feel better. I'm just sitting with it. Anything else I need to tell you? No, that's good enough. Moving on to March 14th to the 20th, Mercury will join Mars in a head-on collision in your sign. Kaboom! Those two are going to bump into each other because of retrogradation. When Mars is with Mercury, we often want to duck because someone is going to scream at somebody. It could feel really tough. Some harsh conversations, some difficult conversations, some angry conversations can occur around the 15th. This is your sign. You might be the one initiating it. You might be having a very difficult 10-degree Pisces discussion. If your ascendant is near 10 degrees of Pisces, 3 degrees on either side, be careful. You might really blow up at someone, at your boss, at someone who lives with you, at one of your children, or at your spouse. You have a tendency for speech or communication, whether you write it or you text it or you speak it, that can be hard, cutting, and damaging. All right. It's a warning. Don't do it. Mars rules your 9th house. This could also involve some major life decisions you're going to make in a very precise and cutting way regarding international travel, foreign lands, distant shores, things to do with book publishing and legal and court matters. Mars represents legal matters connected to lawsuits. You might be getting ready to launch a legal suit against somebody, including a divorce settlement. If you're somebody who wants to get out of a marriage, this could be the beginning of that. Athena represents lawyers, by the way. Let's put her in. How do I know that? 10,000 clients. Okay. She also represents authorship and she's got a thing for people who are into astrology. So she's got a lot of things she's portfolioed. And let's take a peek. So where is that Athena girl gone for lawyers? There she is. There she is right there with Mars. So this is like consulting the law, consulting a legal advisor, acting like a lawyer in a punitive way, judge and jury, but there's energy here for you. And I want you to pay attention to how you are handling that energy. Pisces sun, it's connected to your career or father. Pisces moon, your mother or your home base matters. Pisces rising, probably you're aiming the sharp sword at your significant other. And I don't know if you're going to ask for a divorce or you're having a battle about whether you should stay together, or a fight that almost incites a need to separate. But be careful because Mercury rules home and domicile and also your marriage house. And so this is like someone wants to quit the home, leave, move, cut out, talk about agreements to separate the property, talking about ending the relationship, or just blowing up in a big way. And be careful. This is your warning, all of you, but especially Pisces rising. Oh, it's intense for you. I'm just going to say, I can feel it. On March the 17th to the 19th, 20th, The sun sextiles Uranus to illuminate a positive breakthrough. You felt this energy earlier with Venus connected to money and love on the 3rd to the 5th of March. But now the sun on the 17th to the 20th will take over. The sun is at the end of Pisces and is flowing to Uranus on Elgo, which is a wealth star, but also a decapitation star. Be careful for decapitating your marriage. But this is also a house of travel, trips, and journeys. Maybe you're illuminating an opportunity for travel. It may be connected to money and earnings, job opportunities in this chart, or publishing and book publishing deals. And with Mercury and Mars up here, it could even be an opportunity the sun is shining on to show you a way to properly find a book publishing deal, an agent, or something like that. It could also be something to do with a surprise in your social media landscape, something going viral, something making you look good, something brightening up your vitality and power as something in the online social media internet world goes into a nice little sort of spark of break free and breakthrough, a shiny bright light, basically. And certainly with Uranus trining Juno, I mean, hello, it looks pretty good. I think you're going to like that. It's going to play out again on a moon we're going to talk about now. On March the 18th, the moon is new. On March the 18th, it's new in your sign at 28 degrees of Pisces, and you get a new moon at the end of your sign every single year. It's not a big deal. Except this time the North Node of Fate is here, increasing destiny and worldly success, and you have a new beginning on the 18th. This is also activating that Juno and Uranus flow, and it looks like something along the lines of March 18th, new moon. March 18th, new moon can take a while to unfold. And don't forget, we had that eclipse here, this eclipse in your marriage house. I'm going to bring it up for a reason, so hang in there. That eclipse in your marriage house goes back to 2006 fall, all of 2007, 2008. It's in the long-term committed love house. What happened back then? New relationships start, old ones end. I'm bringing it up because this new moon still has Mercury, who's the lord of that eclipse, in your sign. So new, fresh beginnings in long-term love and relationship, new, fresh beginnings in committed business partnerships, and new beginnings in your identity, new beginnings in your Pisces rising, your health and body, Pisces sun, your career and purpose, Pisces moon, your home and domicile, new fresh starts. But Mars says, cut and sever the old, make change happen, plow forward with intensity. So it's a lot going on here for you this month. Juno could be a pact, agreement, or collaboration with a sibling one older, a friend, an ally, a benefactor that's supporting you in really accelerating breakthroughs in the third house. Third house here in this condition could be your online social media landscape, websites, marketing and selling, learning and teaching projects. But with Mercury in that stellium, it also could indicate you're getting ready for a location change to a new neighborhood. Mercury rules your 4th house of home. And there could be a move coming for you in the 6th months after this moon, just like an eclipse. New moon, full moon takes up to 6 months for the whole thing to flesh out. Look for the first month after the new moon, go March 18th, add 30 days and see, or 28 days, and see if you don't see clues that you might be having a locational change of home. It could be because of relationship, because of an elder sibling, because of agreements, weddings. I talked about that earlier for you. Strike while the iron's hot on the 18th while Venus squares Jupiter during the day of the full moon. Venus in the money house, Jupiter in the good fortune house. Certainly, you might have some kind of financial opening of luck around the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th of the month, but epicenter 18th, as Venus will try to deliver something with Jupiter that looks like good fortune. It could be something good going on in the life of a child, an important and positive conversation with a child, an important conversation with a lover or romantic partner that goes well, more or less, and helps heal some chironic wounds around value, self-worth, and self-worthiness for love. At the same time, Venus squaring Jupiter could also open up an opportunity for travel connected to siblings, children, or romantic love. And also Venus could open up a conversation with Jupiter around receiving some kind of chunky money, inheritance, tax rebate, and more. And you'll feel that energy around March 18th, but I think you could feel it the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th of the month. You need to take an action because it's a square. You need to move on it. It's not going to stick around forever. It requires an urgent response. Book the tickets, take the trip, have the conversation. On the 21st of March, Mars will trine Jupiter. The good news is Mars is visible as of the 17th. Mars is rising in your sign. If it's your sun sign, it's your career that's going to rise over 2 years and change. If it's your moon, your home life and nest will change over 2 years. And if you have a rising sign, it's your whole identity that's going to change over the next 2 years. I'm single, I'm widowed, I'm married, I am. That's going to be different 2 years from now. I'll be doing a deep dive video on the rise of Mars. But the rise of Mars to visibility on March 17th, and then Jupiter direct on the 11th in this beautiful trine energy. This is good action, prosperous action, lucky action, good action, prosperous decisions, good decisions, lucky decisions. You're motivated to do good and right choices here. And you'll see that the 21st of the month, maybe 2 days before and 2 days after, there's something good trying to happen. Mercury will be direct as well by the 20th of the month. So there's that. So there's a lot of forward momentum happening here for you. Whereas you move into, I can't, just trust me on it. You move into forward momentum. Things that have been backpedaling are now going forward. Things are in future orientation, including home, where you live, what you want to do with your relationship, whether you want to get married or not, whether you want to support your children for some reason. All of this stuff kind of pitches forward on March 21st through to the end of the month. On the 20th and the 21st, what the hell? On the 20th and the 21st, and Mercury is now direct on the 21st, and we're not in your sign, so just trust me on this. I would advise you, okay? It might not be too shabby a time to just buy one single lottery ticket in the couple of days before or near March the 21st, which is a Saturday. All right. Good action. I took a chance on winning. All right. Mars can give you some great positive energies regarding publishing, book publishing deals. Jupiter can, and he can also get you to travel abroad. Jupiter can add some super spice to this fortunate action story as he benefits you in your body, mind, and health. And Jupiter also might suggest to you very softly that you might want to level up in your career. And you might have some good entrepreneurial or creative action that levels you up in your career path, as well as a change of home even during this Mars trine Jupiter energy of near the 21st of the month, a day or two before and after. And then we finish the month strong with Saturn and Sun and Neptune. Sun ingresses into your money house. I can't pitch it forward, so just deal. On the 20th of the month, the sun will move into your second house. This will allow for a focus and a spotlight on your savings, earnings, money, and your face, your dietary habits and styles. This sun will shine brightly here, be here for 30 days or so. And as the sun will have moved here, it burns off any confusion around money that you were having. There's a light or a fog burn off on confusion around financial matters. Then when the sun hits Saturn, you have a strict, disciplined authority energy around making money and maybe having a job, doing a service. So job, money, service. If you're looking for work, yes, please do. March 20th, add 30 days. This is the beginning of leveling up in career, work, and money stories that the sun is assisting you, but you haven't done it with Saturn and that Neptune here ever before in your life. So you're looking to do a long game strategy, a long haul, and you want more money, more gains in your career. You might look at digital income and borderless revenue. You may look at book publishing endeavors under the sky. You're looking at money in different ways, and you're looking at a spotlight on money. Saturn, throughout the last 10 days of the month, becomes very stabilized as he sextiles Pluto. It's very possible some of you are going to look at getting money through inheritances or getting money stabilized through matters connected to hospitals, jails, places of isolation, or for you to make money in another country with a foreign employer or through borderless income digital revenue because you're in a digital realm of money making. So money will increase in a stable and long lasting way beginning the last 10 days of March and give you a new kind of stability in your finances. Thank you for listening. I apologize for the coughing. At least I wasn't sneezing and blowing my nose as much as I was yesterday. I have no desire to do anything but now get under my covers and go to bed. I'm recording on February the 19th. It's at almost 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and I feel like it's midnight. Thanks for listening. Check out my Substack below. Check out my Patreon community. Substack is Weekly World Astrology Unplugged. Check out my members only section here. I'd love to have you. Live streams when I'm feeling better. I've done a few with my members only here, mini readings, a whole bunch of stuff. I put out content that the general public doesn't get to my members only, including speaking more freely about controversial topics. And on Patreon, I teach classes. It's a teaching community, a learning community. You get small group settings and Zoom with me. It's a lot of fun. Check out my Patreon community as well. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for bearing with this very, very not well girl. I feel like it's ready. I'm ready to go to bed. Ciao. Lunatic astrology.